Valley of the Kings lies on the west bank of ancient Thebes, known today as Luxor, hidden among the rugged cliffs of the desert. It is a dry river valley that became the eternal resting place for most of the pharaohs of the 18th, 19th, and 20th dynasties of the New Kingdom, a period that stretched roughly from 1550 to 1069 BCE. The site, chosen for its isolation and natural protection, replaced the grand but vulnerable pyramid complexes of earlier ages, which had been repeatedly looted. Seeking secrecy and security for their journey to the afterlife, the pharaohs of the New Kingdom ordered their tombs to be carved deep into the limestone hills of this desolate valley. The first ruler confirmed to have been buried here was Thutmose I, the third king of the 18th dynasty. The valley is divided into two branches, the Eastern and the Western. The Eastern Valley is the more famous, containing the majority of royal tombs, while the Western Valley holds only a few. Altogether, the Valley of the Kings contains more than 60 tombs, along with about 20 unfinished ones that amount to little more than pits. Among the most complex of these is Tomb KV5, which contains more than 120 chambers and is believed to have been built for the sons of Ramses II. Each tomb varies in scale and decoration, but all share the same purpose: to guide the pharaoh through the perilous journey of the afterlife. The most splendid and architecturally sophisticated of all is the tomb of Seti I, numbered KV17. Seti I, who reigned around 1294 to 1279 BCE as the second ruler of the 19th dynasty and father of Ramses II, was laid to rest in a tomb that extends deep into the rock with corridors, chambers, and vast halls decorated with texts and scenes from sacred funerary compositions. The walls of his tomb bear hymns to the sun god Ra, the Book of the Imajuat, that which is in the underworld, and the Book of Gates, among other texts. The ceiling of his burial chamber is adorned with celestial scenes that mirror the night sky. The tomb, later discovered by the explorer Giovanni Belzoni, remains one of the most beautiful ever found in Egypt. The most celebrated of all discoveries in the valley, however, is the tomb of Tutankhamun, KV62. Tutankhamun, who reigned from around 1336 to 1327 BCE during the 18th dynasty, became world famous not because of his political achievements but because his tomb was found almost intact, the only royal burial in the Valley of the Kings to have survived relatively undisturbed. When British archaeologist Howard Carter uncovered the entrance in November 1922, under the patronage of Lord Carnarvon, the discovery captured global attention. Behind a sealed doorway lay treasures beyond imagination, more than 5,400 artifacts that illuminated the splendor of ancient Egypt. Among these wonders was the iconic golden mask that covered the face of the young king's mummy, made of solid gold weighing about 10 kilograms. It remains one of the most admired artifacts in the world. Within the burial chamber, 4 nested coffins were found, the outermost of carved stone, and inside it 3 wooden ones, the innermost also overlaid with gold. In a gilded shrine stood the canopic chest, also covered in gold, containing 4 alabaster jars that held the embalmed internal organs, the intestines, liver, lungs, and stomach, each protected and preserved for eternity. Beyond these sacred containers, Carter's team found an astonishing array of personal belongings: garments, golden jewelry, statues, amulets, perfumes, chairs, beds, lamps, chariots, weapons, and even games. There were about 90 pairs of sandals crafted from papyrus or leather, jars filled with perfumes and oils, and dozens of containers with preserved food. Among these, wooden bowls held mummified ducks and cuts of beef and goat meat. 48 separate portions of mummified food meant to sustain the pharaoh in the afterlife. Today, about 1,700 of these objects are displayed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, while others are stored there or exhibited in the Luxor Museum. Other tombs in the valley also hold immense significance. The tomb of Ramses VI, originally begun for Ramses V, was enlarged and reused by his successor. Its layout is simple and straight, consisting of 5 corridors inscribed with long funerary texts. Nearby lies the tomb of Merneptah, son, and successor of Ramses II, which stretches about 160 meters and ends in a burial chamber containing four nested sarcophagi surrounded by intricate wall decorations. Many other pharaohs rest here: Thutmose III, Thutmose IV, Amenhotep II, Horam, Ramses I, Ramses II, Ramses IV, Ramses IX, and Seti II, each leaving behind a uniquely decorated tomb that reflects the religious beliefs of his era. Among the royal women, the tomb of Queen Torzet, the wife of Seti II and last ruler of the 19th dynasty, stands out. It was later usurped and expanded by Seti, the first king of the 20th dynasty. One of the most remarkable non-royal burials is that of Uyo and Chuyu, thought to be the parents of Queen Tai. Their tomb, KV46, was considered the best preserved burial in the valley until Tutankhamun's discovery. The walls of nearly all the royal tombs in the valley are covered with sacred scenes and texts describing the sun god's nightly journey through the 12 hours of darkness toward his rebirth at dawn. During the 19th dynasty, these decorations became more elaborate, with additional texts and celestial imagery adorning the upper walls and ceilings, all meant to ensure the king's safe passage to the afterlife. The exploration of the Valley of the Kings began in earnest at the end of the 18th century. In 1799, the scholars accompanying Napoleon's expedition to Egypt, including Dominique Vivant Denham, began mapping the tombs then known. By 1827, the British Egyptologist John Gardner Wilkinson had numbered all the tombs discovered so far, assigning them the prefix AKV for a King's Valley, a system still used today. At the dawn of the 20th century, the American lawyer Theodore Davis received permission from the Egyptian government to excavate in the valley, uncovering many important royal and non-royal tombs. After his death in 1915, Lord Carnarvon took over the concession and appointed Howard Carter as his lead archaeologist, a partnership that would culminate in the monumental discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922. Excavations continue to this day. In a recent and extraordinary archaeological achievement, Egyptian and British archaeologists uncovered the tomb of Thutmose II, one of the early kings of the 18th dynasty, in the western Theban Hills. This is the first major royal tomb discovery in the valley since Tutankhamun's, adding yet another layer to the valley's legacy of wonder. From the Valley of the Kings have emerged countless treasures besides those of Tutankhamun: golden and stone sarcophagi, exquisite jewelry, colossal and miniature statues, papyri inscribed with funerary texts, royal furniture, richly decorated thrones, canopic jars, chariots, and weapons, each a fragment of the splendor that surrounded Egypt's divine rulers in both life and death. For centuries, this valley has been a magnet for explorers, historians, and tourists alike. Since the late 18th century, it has served as one of the world's greatest archaeological laboratories, continually revealing new insights into the civilization of ancient Egypt. The site today welcomes visitors from across the globe year-round, especially during the winter season from October to April. Modern conservation efforts have introduced electric transport vehicles, accessible walkways, and other eco-friendly facilities to protect the fragile environment while allowing visitors to experience the majesty of the site. The Valley of the Kings remains one of the most awe-inspiring monuments to human history, a silent necropolis that continues to tell the story of Egypt's might and devotion to eternity. Beneath the sands and cliffs of Luxor still lie secrets yet to be uncovered, waiting to remind the world that the spirit of the pharaohs endures, their tombs preserving the brilliance of a civilization that never truly died.